So what what are you looking for, or what are you running from? You know, and this question I'm actually directing it to myself because for so many years it's like I was running for something or looking for something that I can't seem to find, or looking for something or running from something that I don't know what it is. There was fear, there was so much fear in my life, so much anxiety, because it's like you're looking for something that you cannot seem to find. And this thing leads you to so many things, to looking for solutions from so many things, and I turned to alcohol, I turned to weed, I tried cigarettes, I tried mirror, I tried clubbing, I tried friends, at some point I even grew dreadlocks, just to feel like I belong somewhere, just to be accepted by people, and it is so tiresome because it is like the more you look, the emptier you become. You know, the more you try get validation from people, the more you don't get it. The more you try make friends, the more you even try be the lowest version of yourself so that people don't feel offended by you, or people don't feel insecure around you, so that they can be your friends, the more you become insignificant to them, and I accepted to be treated so inhumanely by so many people just so that they could accept me, so you jump from one relationship to another, you go from one job to another, you're getting the same kind of treatment, the same kind of treatment, and you're asking yourself, what is wrong? you know and for so long I blamed these people, I blamed the jobs that I was going to look for, I blamed the people that I was having those relationships with, until recently I realized the only constant thing in all those things was me. you know Funny enough, the problem is with me, and when I looked inside I realized that what I was looking for is my worthiness. I was looking for my own sense of worthiness, like to feel like I am someone, like I am worthy of love, I am worthy of attention, I am worthy of time. That is the one thing I never felt that I was worthy of. And uh, it comes from how I grew up, because growing up I never really got that attention as a child. Okay, that is the story for so many of us who grew up in my generations. Most millennials have that challenge because it was a belief from our parents that if you give a child too much attention, you are actually spoiling them. It's not that our parents didn't love us, but they didn't really believe in like encouraging and commending. They only believed in chastising and criticizing. That's how they believed is the right way to raise a child. You know, but we ended up being so empty inside. People feeling so worthy, people ending up as alcoholics, as drug addicts, all of this trying to feel worthy, you know, and you accept so many other treatments that are so inhumane that nobody should accept that kind of treatment. But because you feel so unworthy, you accept it, so that you can be accepted, so that you can feel like you belong somewhere, you know. And when I look in the Bible, the book of Luke chapter 8 from verse 43 to 48, and then the book of Mark from chapter 5 from verse 20, it talks of a woman who had the issue of blood. And I realized me and that woman have so much in common, because the disease, my disease was feeling unworthy, but hers was the hemorrhaging. She had blood hemorrhaging from her for 12 years, and she went from one doctor to another. The same thing I did, going from one drug to another, from one relationship to another, from one job to another. Yet you feel emptier, instead of satisfying the hunger that is in your soul, instead of healing your issue, it is actually becoming worse. And the people that you are running to, instead of helping you, They are exploiting you. They are exploiting you, and once they are done exploiting you, they just throw you aside until you're broke, until you have nothing else to share. When they realize they cannot get anything more from you, what do? They just ditch you to the side and they move on. But you remain with your issue, and you remain with nothing. Now you don't have money, and you still have your issue of blood flowing. And this woman suffered for many years, and she was afraid of people, so she was hiding from people. But she had heard about Jesus. The book of Mark is a bit more detailed when it comes to this story. It says she had heard of Jesus, and so when she heard Jesus was passing by, she told herself, it is very important, the thoughts that you think about yourself, the thoughts that what you tell yourself, and mostly what you tell yourself about yourself. So she told herself, if I only go touch the hem of his garment, I will be healed. And she went straight, hiding. Though she was hiding, but she went in faith and touched the hem of his garment. And guess what? Instant healing. And Jesus is asking, who touched me? And the disciples are, what do you mean, who touched you? There is a crowd pushing left, right, and center to touch you. Why would you ask who touched you? It is because there were so many people around Jesus who were touching him, but the only thing they lacked was faith. They did not believe that Jesus would heal them. They did not believe that Jesus would take care of their issues. So they were touching him, but he wasn't feeling it. But when faith, trust me, my friends, faith is the language in the spiritual world. Faith is the currency of the kingdom of Jesus Christ. When you have faith, anything is possible. In fact, the woman got instant healing, and Jesus realized, you know what, some power has come out of me. And the woman who had come trembling, the woman who was so ashamed of her issue, and she was hiding, this time, though the healing has not manifested, it is already done according to the kingdom. She is already healed completely. But she has, for you as a physical human being, for you to come to terms with the fact that you have been healed, it takes time. So before she comes to terms with the fact that she is not the same woman that came to touch Jesus, before she comes to terms with that, it takes time. And though she comes trembling, this time she is not afraid. She is bold, and she goes and tells and says, I am the one who has touched you. And Jesus tells her, it is your faith that has healed you. And the reason Jesus says that it is her faith that has healed her, it is because there were so many people there, yet they were not healed, but she was healed. So the power is present, but the power is only present to the person who believes, to the person who has faith to go touch Jesus with the faith. And I'm telling you, once you are connected with Jesus, once you touch Jesus, and there's a connection, there's a line of connection between you and Jesus, trust me, the healing is instant. And the healing is not just physical. The healing is wholesome. He is bringing a complete transformation to your life. This woman not only got her issue of blood healed, but you can see the transformation even in her self-esteem. Now she's willing to stand in front of people and say, yes, it is I. And I'm sure she had been talked about. I'm sure people knew her. This is the woman that has that issue of blood, so don't touch her. Because it was taboo to touch a woman who was hemorrhaging blood as of menstrual flow. You were supposed to stay for 7 days, and then on the 8th day you were supposed to give a sacrifice of 2 pigeons. Read Leviticus chapter 5. You will see that story there of how an unclean woman is supposed to cleanse herself. But she did not care about that. She no longer cared about what people would think about her, as long as she got the healing. Sometimes we need to get to a point where we have been exploited. We need to get to a point where there is no other place we can turn to. And the best thing about Jesus, he doesn't mind being the last resort. You have tried all other avenues. Don't be ashamed saying, oh, now I'm going to run to him. What is he going to think? He wants you the way you are. He wants you. He wants him. In fact, he wants to be the last resort so that you can be convinced that there's no other solution to your problem. So if you have an issue that has been taking you to drugs, that has been taking you from one relationship to another, maybe it's unworthiness, maybe it's whatever, I don't know what it is. I want to tell you today that you just need to touch the hem of Jesus by faith. There is power there, but there is only power for the one who believes. Go to Jesus and go in faith, and trust me, you will never be the same again. You will never be the same again. God bless.